Notice of motion 8.5, step towards Merri-Bek Pollinator Biodiversity Corridor, and we have George Lester in person with a statement. Hi, George.
How's it going, everyone? I'm George, and I'm a native bee lover. I'm from the country, but I've moved down to the city now, so I'm a bit familiar with some of the pollinator patches along the nature strips, which seem to be really popular in Merri-Bek, and I really enjoy checking out. So I'm familiar with the nature strips and fully in support of any sort of pollinator corridor that we can implement in this council. And I'm also familiar with how awesome native bees are, having studied them through a Master of Bioscience at Melbourne Uni. And I'm also seeing that the public's catching on to how awesome native bees and pollinators are and wanting to learn about the different things that people can do to look after them, from an individual level to a local council level, to even pushing for nature reforms in Parliament, which was something that I was advocating for in February in front of the Prime Minister. And one of the things I found with talking about nature strips and creating pollinator havens and looking after insects that are facing threats, that there's a clear thirst for knowledge among the public, and some of the videos that I've created online have received hundreds of thousands of views. Including one which I made based in the Merri-Bek Council with a researcher from the University of Melbourne looking at the effects of transforming lawn nature strips into Indigenous planted pollinator patches, Philippa Bell. And what she's been finding so far in some of the Brunswick and Coburg nature strips that she's planted in the last few years, that there's biodiversity increases of 4 to 7 times from the controls of just the lawn standard nature strips. The video that I posted about this received hundreds of thousands of views. Either you're appreciating the idea or are wishing that they had a local council that was encouraging as what Merri-Bek is. And so some of the comments were like, quote, purposeful and meaningful change and I'm here for it, or the ones you would probably love the most, quote, I love walking down these spots in Brunny. Alternatively, people also showed frustrations for the nature strips of the city of Melbourne, which are lawn, particularly a video I made on the famous Royal Parade, which is kilometres and kilometres and kilometres of just lawn and the stupid English trees. And a lot of people were despising these. And so, yeah, I just really wanted to highlight the sort of public perception around how positive it's received when councils are, reducing the barrier to entries with permits, either having free permits or really, really easy to follow guidelines and things. And then also the uptake in people wanting to create habitat for native bees with things like these native bee hotels, which are really easy things for people to make at home or with kids and things, and are proven through scientific research to increase biodiversity alongside the pollinator patches as well.
Good work, George. Thank you. So that's a piece of wood.
Yeah, so this is just like some native hardwood, and it can also make it out of like cuttings from the garden, like pithy or hollow stems, or even just leaving bare patches of ground like clays and soils and things. Yeah. Trying to mimic the natural habitat of native bees and other pollinators.
Yeah, wonderful. Thanks for the show and tell.
No worries, thank you.
Thanks, George.